Here we are. No coaches, no boxing the podcast. How you all coaches? How are you? Today, as always, I have another great, and I say great guest because he is the best promoter ever. Let me repeat it. The best promoter ever in Malta. Maybe I'm not sure that it's I said it correctly. Let me repeat another time. The best promoter ever in Malta. So let's give up a big round of applause for Demis Tonna. I exaggerated. Whoa! Come on, people. Demis Tonna is in the house. Yeah. Whoa. That's it. They like you. They like you. They like you already. See? These are our people. You see? More. All right. Welcome, Demis. How are you?
Thanks, Gab. What a welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah,
That's
I'm
how we
good.
do.
I'm excellent. Thanks, Gab. How are you?
Great. I'm good. I'm enjoying and trying to give to all the coaches all over the world as much as possible help, tips, anything, anything on as possible. I'm trying to give it, and this I enjoy a lot because I love to help. I love to be there for each of the coaches, each one of the coaches. So then we know each other like since a long time now. We've met now 10 years ago. It was 2014 when I moved to Malta and I started my journey there.
10 years
You-
ago. Cool. I
oh,
was
yeah.
I was I was 24 then. Oh my God, how young!
I didn't, I'm not sure. Can you say it again? Say it again.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I was 24 when we met.
Now, now,
Okay.
now they heard. Now they
Yeah,
heard you.
they paid
All
me
right.
back. They paid me
Yeah.
back.
All right. Yes, I was 14. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's about right.
Yeah, this makes laugh even more, because I'm always the oldest in the room, and
That's it.
we always have this laughing. Damn. So 10 years ago, I moved to Malta and I restart my fighting journey. I was already 40 years old there, and I had a different plan when I came to Malta. I had an agreement with the Karate Federation to be the head coach of the national team. But then once I moved there, I did some seminars, but something changed. And so I had to change my plan. And so, my father was, come on, you should, because he did like to see me fighting, and he was one of my biggest fans. So he was pushing, come on, why don't you fight against him? Come on, now I need to coach. We said no more. No. So he put me there in this spot. So okay, I will think about it. And then he had something, and in 20 days, boom, gone. And he sent me a message. This is why I restarted fighting. Not all the people know. He left me a message at 5 in the morning, the last message of his life, saying, hey, I'm okay. Don't think about me, sickness. Don't think about sickness. Stay focused and fight. Finish. Then my father, he was alive for more days, never replied to any calls. I sent him video of the training. Never, nothing. So he left me that way. And then I'm a soldier, so I'm a military athlete. So when he passed away days after, I said, okay, I cannot afford now to cry, to be sad. I need to accomplish the mission that he asked me to do. And then, bam, and you stepped in.
Yes, I do remember. Unfortunately, it was a bad time in your life, but if it's any consolation, Gab, you didn't show that to people who didn't know, because like I said, you're a soldier and you kept on going. I think it was more an achievement for you to pass on to your late father, because that was a wish that he wanted. One last fight, but it wasn't your last one, as we
No.
know.
No, and that's a problem, I I said, because then it took us 2 years, because I did basically, like a long training camp, because I said if I sit down like even 2 days at my age right now, after I restarted the machine, I will not stand up never again. So it's okay, we stay focused. And I send a message to my brother, say, hey, look, come on, you're not coming to see my fights, come on, this will be my last fight. And you said, look, stop with the bullshit, I'll come to the next. So you said it like 10 years ago, it's my last fight, no stop. So
Exactly.
and and then we did a lot of work and a lot of fights, lot of organization, and we did great, because I know also that you at some point, when I actually stopped, that I was 42, we did these 2 years like all in a row, and then you were missing me, because of course I was also selling a lot of tickets, a lot of tables.
Yes, correct. Yes, you did. You held your fair share of ticket sales, let's say.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It sometimes it sounds tough for the boxers, that maybe they don't understand how much effort is to organize an event, the money to risk, the sponsor to find, all these kind of important things that are, of course, the boxers they think, okay, hey, I'm training, I'm fighting, I'm doing a lot of stuff, even selling the tickets. But unfortunately, when we are at a certain stage, we need to, it's sort of environment, we are all part of this, and we need to cooperate to make the business sustainable. And in an island like small like ours, this is happening all over the world, by the way, this is the only way to do. And you did, I think, the some of the greatest show I have seen, because also way bigger countries, they don't have for professional shows, like shows at the level that I also had the pleasure to fight in this show. So absolutely, it's not going to happen. I saw even in Italy, sometimes there is sometimes, but the normal events show, are truly organized, like, okay, like basic events, just the fights, just to make them happen, and that's it. But with you, was like fires, everything, tables, dinners, amazing, truly amazing.
Yes, correct, Gab. Like I said, if I'm gonna do something, I've always been told to do it properly. So it's either all or nothing. I like to give the public what they need, what they want, what they ask for, what they pay for. It's in me, I want to make the best of something, which is always been achievable by myself. Anything I do in life, I don't do it by.
Makes sense. We can we say them, as you all guys, coaches, you hear also that he is in Malta, but also we have this English proper accent. We could also say that he is the Maltese Eddie Hearn. What about
That's
this?
it.
I mean, it's
Well, I have
oh, well,
been
I mean,
Scott, actually. Scott Nixon. Obviously, we all know Scott.
of course,
He actually calls me Eddie. Messing
yes.
around. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being at his level, but like I'm not going to say I'm at his level, or I could be at his level, but you need to understand as well that the material he has makes him the level he's at. So I can only work with the tools I have.
And I would say something different about it, because what I've learned from my father. My father gave me some lessons, very simple lessons that were very important. An example: once he told me, he was a musician. He said, you need to be so good to play only two notes and making them sound like thousands. So with two simple stuff. So what I would say about you, that I know you, I think that because succeeding in organizing such events using what we have, there is where you can see the skills, because it's easy with great boxers that are famous all over the world, that all the television wants to give you actually money. That's easy. That's it. I ask you a question. Would you be able to do an exactly same show as he does with the same boxers?
Of course.
Okay, maybe better. I mean,
No problem. If I had that box, those type of boxes, okay, the view of changed it. Forget the boxes, okay, because we have good boxes.
yeah, of
If I
course,
had,
of course.
if I had that,
I thought about I mentioned the fame that all the medias, of course, wants. That's a difference.
yes, if I had the budget, that's the biggest one. The budget, and obviously what comes with the budget is the famous boxers who have made their name and have got all the television rights and whatever behind them. So yeah, of course I could.
That's the point. But
Let me
here
just
we have.
1 second. Just,
Yeah, fix it.
all right, that's better.
So the point that we have very good boxers, but of course we don't have this kind of fame right now in Malta. So everything has to really be worked out between the promoter, between the coach, between the boxer himself. That sometimes the night of the event is there trying to sell the tickets, because also people don't understand that they should buy the tickets from the boxers. And let's use it as a, guys, please support the boxers buying the tickets before the actual night of the fight, because you will stress him or her at the highest level. So let's take it earlier, so they will be relax and just focus on the fights. I many times I saw even myself waiting at the door, and you are about to fight.
Gab,
Has to be,
I can't stress enough that boxers get paid by selling tickets.
of course.
I have people call me directly for tickets, and I tell them, who are you coming to watch? Oh, we're coming to watch Teon Camilleri. Well, call Teon, because Teon would appreciate you buying a ticket from him. A lot of people are not aware of this.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
they don't get paid for fighting. They have to sell tickets.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
from you
It is
here, people
important.
at home, call your boxer, buy a ticket. Don't call me, call your boxer.
Exactly, because this is how you support your boxers. Because yes, as them mentioned very well, the boxers got paid on commissions on ticket sales. So it's important that you go, you choose the boxer that you want to support, you buy tickets from him or her, and then that will help, because especially when there is international fights, there is a lot of expenses, because the promotion needs to take care about the flights, accommodation, food, transport, and of course the boxer, if he wants to fight against international opponents, need to sell enough tickets to help the promotions, of course, and then to get a commission. So if they don't sell enough, then it turns very difficult to feed our environment with great events. Did I say it right? Them.
Yes, you did, Gab. But what people need to understand as well, this is not just Malta. We mentioned Eddie Hearn.
Yes.
Okay, so Eddie Hearn, if he does a boxing show, you're going to have 2 or 3 of them which are on television. All of the undercard, okay, who are starting at the beginning, who are still professional boxers with 10, 15, 20, 30 fights, they may not have made their name yet. So they're still working on a ticket sale commission.
Yes, you see.
So, if you can't sell a ticket, unfortunately, you can't
fight.
box. You can't fight. And that's not just in Malta, because people think, oh, it's in Malta, they're doing maybe the promoter is greedy or this. It's not the case. It's worldwide.
No. It's true. No, everywhere. I mean, that with my connection, I speak with coaches all over the world, and I hear this is exactly the same all over the world. Of course, when all the boxers, or people, when they think about boxing, they relate to those that they see in television, and they think that that it's like this at any level. But it makes also sense. Once you are there, it means that you reach a certain level, which is not the level of your skills or whatever. It's just you had the possibility to challenge yourself on another level of fame related to the media, because that is all about. When the media stepped in because maybe they like you for whatever reason, bam, because you could be also, a knockout artist, but but not in a way that really is likable from the media, and maybe they are not interested in you. How many champions there are, super champions, that they
Of
still
course.
struggling to have this? And we're talking about, let's say Shakur Stevenson, which is the one that, they keep him always like this, a bit more hidden, doesn't have all the attention like the others, like let's see, recently Ryan Garcia and Haney, they had a lot of but most of it because Ryan Garcia at the media level is a giant compared to the others, because he does a lot of now I think he's going through too much.
But they can talk. They can talk.
Yes,
They know how to
yes,
sell themselves.
yes,
If you can't sell yourself, you've got to be something special. I'm not saying that they're not special. Don't get me wrong, but unless you're knocking everybody out,
yeah,
first round, like Tyson, for example. Tyson, and we're going back a long time ago, Gab. And now I'm showing my age, okay?
yeah,
But when Tyson was boxing, Tyson never used to speak. He was a man of few words. There
yes,
was no social media in those days, but he was exciting. You know what I mean? He was,
of course,
when you mentioned Mike Tyson, I used to wake up until 4 or 5 in the morning, and then
true,
the fight had been finished in the first round. And I thought, oh
yes,
my God, what was the point of staying awake?
yes,
But, so these are one-offs. These are not the everyday boxer that we see. These are, I'd like to
no,
call them like
generational.
a freak of nature, if you must say.
Yes,
It's
yes,
a
yes,
one-off.
yes. Yeah, I remember Mike. The issue that Mike had, that the people were getting upset because they were paying a lot of money to see him, and that was lasting like, whoa,
Yeah,
come on,
well, I
you know.
used to complain. I'd complain because I'd lose one night's sleep. You got people who would fly to New York, fly to wherever, to Detroit, to go and watch him fight, and they would last 2 minutes
Yeah,
and pay the entrance fee, pay the hotel, So
but he didn't care. Of course, I've had this normal problem.
not at all,
you
not
know,
at
uh,
all.
exactly. So then let's go into the into our island. So Malta, what's happening in Malta? What's our plan? What is the situation right now? We have some time. So we did a long way. The last 7 years, we did a lot of work. We reached a higher level for the Malta Boxing Federation, especially, which is the Olympic boxing style, and we're taking care of a lot of boxers. We participate in several European championships. We went to the World Championships. We've been in several internationals. We did training camps in different countries too. We truly had a blast. Recently we were in Serbia in April, and we did the first elite European championships with the bigger team ever. We were there with 4 boxers and 3 coaches. So this for me was really a big wow, because we started like it was just me and 3 boxers, that then turned 2 because one wasn't in boxing anymore. Then we reached a bit a higher number. Then pandemic just stopped us, but I didn't want to give up, and we continued during the pandemic to keep going on, and that's why we didn't quit and we didn't close the shop. Let's say like this. Yeah. What's now? What's your point of view of what we did and what we're doing right now, and where are we going?
Well, Gav, as you said, it's been like 7 years now to get to where we are today. I'd like to thank you personally for a non-Maltese person who is going out of their way, their personal time, away from family, to help out another country, which I really appreciate that, and I'm sure all the people in the boxing world in Malta appreciate it also. They may not tell you to their face, but I'm sure they do. Personally, people probably realise that I've took a little step back from promoting prize boxing promotions with my big pro events, as you would say, with the fire and this and that.
Yeah,
I've took it
amazing.
back because I'm also trying to push the Malta Boxing Federation, the Olympic style boxing. Obviously, the events are not that big. We have different protocols, there's different ethics involved in the seriousness of the Malta Boxing Federation. Doesn't mean it's not a good show, but we tame it down a little bit because of the difference between the amateurs and the professionals. You know, where we are today, I think we're miles ahead of where we were 7 years ago. But are we there yet? No, we still got a long way to go because of the education and the knowledge of the locals here. They need to understand what the Water Boxing Federation is all about.
Yeah.
We've probably hit 20% of the boxing community so far. So
Yes.
I'm very excited for where we can go when the other 80% realize what the Water Boxing Federation is about and where they can go.
Yeah. The biggest part of the work in these 7 years was, from my side, of course, the education of the sport, which unfortunately we still lacking because there is many things happening, and of course this is confusing the people that are following because they don't understand the difference, because of course it's very hard to see it, and that's why I spent more on trying to educate and explain and work with the coaches. Now we have some good coaches in the national team that are helping and they are understanding, so I'm very happy about that. And not to forget the most important result last year, finally we got 2 medals at the European level. We had a bronze medal in the European Cup with Inzaghi Schwerb in the 51 kilograms, and then we had super surprise in the European Championships under 22, Gail Diacono, silver medalist, vice European champion in the 63 kilograms. And this is super because Malta never had any of these medals ever. So
It's
this is,
huge, yeah, it's huge.
it
And
is.
unfortunately, the local boxing community, I don't think they are actually seeing the bigger picture. This is people that the likes of Gale and Inzaghi, they're fighting the best in the world of each country.
Yes.
That's a hard pill to swallow. People need to understand they're not just going there for a boxing fight and they came second. That's not
No.
the case. This is the
No.
European under 22s. So that's the best of each European country who have
Yes.
entered in that category.
Yes.
And it's an amazing achievement.
Super. An example, Bradley in we did the World Championships, the Youth World Championships, and he lost against the 2 or 3 times Asian champion, and he's the one that then after winning against Bradley, he won the World Championships. I mean, Bradley all the time fought against the best really in the world. Then when at the Europeans, he put really on the back foot the Bulgarian boxer. In my opinion, the time, to be honest, Bradley deserved way more than what the judges gave. But anyway, that guy also won the European Championships at the time, and Bradley put it on his back foot. Bradley also again did a great and amazing performance in Serbia against Moldova. We lost by bout review, was a split decision, and but to be honest, could have been either way. He did great, super performance, steady. Very proud of
Gab,
him.
what they are super proud, the whole team. But what people need to understand, and this is where we've came forward. How many fights does Bradley have? Gab, you remind me, please.
Now Bradley and Dyson, because
Okay.
they are like like twins.
Yep. Okay.
They are
So
like
Bradley and Dyson, how many do they have?
almost 30 fights, 30
Okay.
fights
So
each.
before these 7 years, before we started, how many fights did they have?
Oh, 6.
And you need to remember that we
No,
had
no, no. Well, no,
we had
no.
the
See,
pandemic. We had the
yeah,
pandemic
no.
in between.
Yes, we have the pandemic, but when we started, they were 13.
Mhm.
So they started really from the beginning of the championships. Not to forget to mention that also struggling a lot with the money, which we don't have. So we truly manage in many ways. We found the money to take through all these years, the kids, to all these championships that are very expensive, but and no one, to be honest, is helping us. We had recently gladiators that that they gave a donation to help for Serbia. This we were very happy and we appreciate a lot. And also we have a sponsors for this year that already helped us to also to reach the amount of money that we needed to go in Serbia, because in Serbia, of course, as I mentioned before, was the biggest team ever. So also biggest financial amount ever that we needed to go.
Yeah, you mentioned the Asian champion who won the elite championship.
The youth, that was the youth championship, youth world.
Okay, so the last one you just went to now in Serbia, which was that?
In Serbia was European elite, and he fought against Moldova.
Okay, so let's give me an example. And who
Yes.
won that? Who won the European elite?
Oh mamma, in Bradley 57, I think was an Hungarian, if I'm not mistaken, but
So
was a super boxer.
This Hungarian boxer, whoever won it, how many bouts would this person have?
No, there when you reach elite and they are let's say in the national team, because I know I will tell you this. When we went in Georgia 2019 for the schoolboys, which is 13 years old boxers, their kids already had around 40 fights.
Yeah,
And
this
they
is it,
had
because this is where we need to be going. You need to understand how hard it is, Gab, because when you're coming from Hungary, you're coming from Italy, you're coming from Serbia, you're coming from Moldova, Georgia, these are big countries. There's lots of clubs, there's lots of gyms.
Yes.
So they're boxing, I wouldn't say every weekend, but not far off. Maybe twice a month,
Can be. Can be.
I remember when I boxed in the UK, we have a boxing season. So we got from like September maybe to May, June. Okay, this would be our boxing season, and I would be at boxing once, twice. I won't say a week, but 2 times a month for sure.
Yeah. I remember.
And this is where you get your experience from.
Once during a summer, when I turned from because I wanted also to do from the previous sport, that I fought in many sports, so but then when I went to amateur boxing in a summer, I think in 2 months and a half I fought like 8 times, something like that, no stop. No, because you have a lot of opportunity. That's the point. This is what we're trying to do right now, especially locally, to give as much as possible shows. And this year we are organizing a lot. That's why also we need the support of our coaches to be to understand the effort that is behind the curtains when we are organizing, because there is needs when one of the promoters, coaches, is asking you for I need this, I need that, please help, because literally there is a lot of stress organizing, and there is a lot of things that you guys don't see but are behind the curtains and are very important to make sure that then you have the spot to fight and enjoy and then make experience. I think it's all making sense, correct?
It is, Gab. That's the only way it can work. I don't really want to go into politics, but unfortunately, we have to.
Let's go. Come on.
We have to, Gab.
Let's go.
This is the idea about
Let's wait. Wow, let's go.
I love speaking with you, Gab, because you keep it interesting. But you have to go to the point.
Yeah, of course.
I've done like 3 three boxing shows, which are am pro. It happens a lot, obviously, in all over the world. But for some reason, I done three am pros. You got an amateur beginning at the beginning of the show. All officials change, comes to a professional entity, and then the professional show continues. It's worked 3 times, worked great. The younger guys, the amateur guys, get their experience. They've got a lot of people watching them. They've got a big crowd, and they've got a big stage. So it gives them a bit of self-esteem and a taste of where they're going in the future. Because I believe that amateurs, I don't want to sound rude or the wrong word, but I think it's their experience, which is where they get their resume, or
Yes.
from the amateurs, get their 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 fights, win the under 22 Europeans, get a runner up in the World Games, get a bronze medal in the Olympics if need be, and then you move on to the professionals.
Yes.
So I think it's paramount. It's paramount that these AM pro shows are happening. And I don't know why that the Malta Boxing Association, which is the Maltese professional entity, who are full members of the European Boxing Union, don't want it. I had to cancel a show, unfortunately, on the 6th of June. I had a show, I had the venue, I had everything booked for an AM Pro. The professional was going to be Prize Boxing Promotions in cooperation with Stephen Vaughan Boxing and Fight Zone. We're talking top level of professional boxing.
Yes.
The NBA just turned around and said, we don't want to do any amateur shows on the professional shows anymore because they have their own amateur, whatever they want to call it, amateur, what word can I use? A project maybe. I don't know what it is, because obviously we know that in the world there's only one amateur entity.
Yes.
Which is the Olympics. So
Yes.
boxing.
Now the Olympic situation it's pretty complicated right now at the moment. But the point is this. So and here I can go truly in deep because I've been involved in this. So I have all the answers to explain correctly what's going on. And this is why also maybe sometimes people avoid to speak when I'm in the room, because there is no, in that case, room for inventions. This is it. I speak about the fact. I don't try to sell something that is not true. It's just the truth. So the situation is like this: that the IBA one time then turned into IBA years ago. In 2020 exactly, they I think they changed the logo. And then we have the EUBC, which is the European Boxing Confederation, which is the continental federation. Then we have, of course, other 4 more continental federation: the ASEAN, the Oceania, the America, and the African. So this is the explanation of all the federation all over the world. All these 5 continents are under one umbrella, which is the International Boxing Association, IBA. Okay, and this is how it was all forever. Forever, never ever existed another association in like to replace or to be together. No, never. So then what happened? For some political reason, the IOC started attacking this IBA because of they didn't agree for the new elections, the president that we elected. And I say we elected because also we chose, and this president is giving a lot of opportunities. It's truly changed a lot of things for the boxers. There is prize monies now. A lot of amateur boxers can truly bought houses, so that they are turning their life in a better way. So they are achieving their own goals, and they are receiving also a huge support, financial support. That, of course, this also push more all the coming up boxers to say, okay, I can truly say I invest in myself because this could be the outcome. An example: now in the next World Championships, the gold medal for the men will be 400,000 euros, 200,000 for the silver, and I think 100,000 for the 2 bronze. So this is amazing. Now, what's happening now? The IOC started fighting against IBA. Also, myself, I went to Lausanne in last year twice, and once I was with Roy Jones Jr. and we went there to speak to the IOC. We had a meeting. We discussed with them to explain them that not to take back the Olympic dream for the boxers, because being the Olympic dream can help a lot of people to also to either not to end up in jail, or to end up killed in bands, whatever. There is a lot of things, because boxing truly saves lives in many different ways. So, and also Roy was saying from his own side and experience, how much seeing and Muhammad Ali as Olympic champion motivated him to step into the boxing, to reach one day that kind of greatness. So it's clear that the Olympic world is very important for any kind of athlete in any kind of sports. Now, what happened at the end? They first suspended IBA, and then they withdraw the recognition. Okay, and now it's where it's starting, the confusion. Some people from IBA and UBC weren't happy about the situation, about the elections, because they didn't get the win. So at some point, a group of 10, 15 at the time, countries, mostly in Europe only, unfortunately this happened, they decided to go out to protest and open a new federation, which, as we have now the time to discuss this, in my opinion, this is absolutely disrupting the whole boxing world environment. Because if I'm not happy about what's happening, then, and I want to fix things, I stay in and I fight to fix it. I don't go out to disrupt everything, because like this, I can be whoever I didn't manage to be right there. And that's absolutely wrong. So they should have been there, despite the fact that they found it, difficult. They all the reason of the world. I respect everything, because everyone is entitled to have their own opinion. This is the right way to think, and they can say whatever they think is right for their experience. So then they started this, but they started claiming that they were already the next Olympic Federation, which is not, because I will explain you something. They did all this marketing based on the lack of knowledge, of course, of the public, because to be once now IBA was with the recognition was withdrawn, then there is a long procedure to be recognized as the main entity of the Olympic Games. Which is the main entity means that you are the organizer of the Olympic Games, nothing more than that. It's important that the sport stays in the Olympic Games organization. Now, what's happening right now? Nothing. Simply, the IOC, for the second time, is taking care with a boxing task of the organization of the tournament for boxing. So that's absolutely nothing different. So it's not IBA organizing, but still the Olympic Games, and it's just the IOC, and is organizing the Olympic Games with all the RNJ from IBA, all the coaches from IBA, all the boxers from IBA, all the officials, any kind of IBA. So
So
everything.
that's my question. So
Yes.
if somebody who, let me give you an example. In the UK, we have the English boxing, which, as we know, go to the Olympics, who are recognised and fight under the umbrella of the IBA.
Yes.
And then there's another one called the Alliance. Okay, they're a standalone. Can they go and fight in the Olympics?
No.
Okay,
No,
so
that's where
that's what I want to ask you.
exactly, that's where they push to create the confusion. Only what the federation recognized from the National Olympic Committee goes to the Olympic Games. in this case, it's us. Malta Boxing Federation is recognized from the MOC, which is Malta Olympic Committee, and all over the world is the same. You cannot have three federations, let's say, in the country, and all they can like this go and sign up. No, doesn't work like that. There is a huge procedure to sign to be part in any Olympic qualifiers. A very difficult procedure, lot of documents, and really a lot of work all the time. We've been in the Olympic qualifiers for London 2020, for Tokyo 2020, and we had 5 boxes lined up, and unfortunately the pandemic arrived, and our government, the Malta government, closed the island one night before taking the flight to the first Olympic qualifier ever in Malta's boxing history. So that was very sad. But we're here again.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Gab. So to enter for the Olympic qualifiers, you have to be a member of the IBA.
No, you need to be in this moment. You need to be a member of Malta Boxing Federation, which is
no. I'm not about from any country. Any country.
No, at the moment, no. At the moment, there is IBA and there is this other federation that they open. Now, the IOC, withdrawing the recognition from IBA for the Olympic Games, left the freedom to participate to only the federations recognized by the national Olympic committees, meaning that you can participate to the World Championships, the European Championships, if you are under IBA and EUBC. Only for the Olympic Games now, it's just under the Olympic Games boxing task. So only the federations connected to the national Olympic committees can go. Let's say now. Yes, of course. Yes, we are. Malta Boxing Federation. Yes, we are. Now, the point of where you cannot go if you are not IBA member is all the international tournaments, all of them, all the Europeans, all the worlds, all the super, tournament. You cannot participate if you are not an IBA member, which MBF is recognized by the EUBC, European Boxing Confederation, and the International Boxing Association.
So we have the best. We have the best of both.
Yes. Right? Yes, absolutely. But the Olympic situation, it's absolutely like big political things, because they had this agreement, and to be honest, I'm not happy about this, because it just created a big disruption, and all the coaches, athletes, were just victims, of this, because they don't understand what's happening. They got stressed. What will be, blah, blah, blah. So everyone, what I didn't like truly was abusing the life of these people to pursue their goals, because this is all about, because that's why I fight all the time. No coaches, no boxing, because the coaches are the most important people in the sport, and they are the ones that they keep the sport, they nurture the sport, they push the sport, they work on the coach, on the boxers. So you cannot put them in a position where they are suffering, because also they are leader and they need to answer to questions from how many boxers can go to a coach and say, hey coach, but what will be of myself, what will be of my dream? And then they put you in a position where you are absolutely confused, because no one is talking to you and explaining you. That's why I like to be in the room and explain, by the dot, all this situation. Now, still nothing changes. Only these Olympic games, which are, it doesn't matter if you are in IBA or not, but those federations that were in IBA because they are recognized from their own national Olympic committee, which is us. So that's not changing it. So they are in let's say over hundreds and hundreds of tournaments. They are not organizing one.
Just the Olympics.
Yes. And then we will see. And
with IBA officials.
All the people are IBA. All There is, because that's a crucial thing. So that's the boxing world. What you do, you open a new federation. What is going to change? R&Js are the same, because where you take them, the boxers and the coaches are those. That's not another batch. They are ready, it's waiting, for no. And then I want to also explain something more important. This new federation also was discussing, saying all the time, we are the Olympic future, we are the Olympic future. Okay, good, very good. Now, but they let's say, intend to understand that the moment IBA was withdraw of this recognition, automatically they were the next, Olympic opportunity. No, because there is a severe procedure to be recognized by the Olympic Committee, by the IOC, which lasts around 3 years. But no one talk about it, no one. And during these 3 years, and any let's say, any federation that applies for it needs to go through a very, very severe procedure for, for the results, the corruption, a lot of things. Then if they will pass everything, they might have the opportunity to be recognized. So, but it's not as they were, letting all the people understand, hey, in 1 second, bam, bam, we're there. Nope, it's not. So actually, nothing changed. Still a fight between IBA and the IOC. Now, also this time, the IOC will, this boxing task, organize the Olympic Games, and that's it. In the meantime, IBA is pushing a lot, all the tournaments, the Worlds, the Continental, a lot of international, putting a lot of money for the boxers, and they are trying to help, and create something. Because also one thing I agree big time, that the IBA president was saying, the Olympic Games, first of all, they happen on one time, once every 4 years, and only for a few boxers. And also the IOC, which make a lot of money in this organization, doesn't give 1 cent to any athlete. That's true. That's true. Meaning that they use, of course, all these athletes and their fame and blah blah blah, but then they don't get any reward. And IBA wants to pay back the athletes, and they started already since now almost 4 years, with this prize money, as we call it, project, and it's working a lot, because now you have also this opportunity to truly make it, financially, because as an amateur, before it was like now getting $400,000 if you are a world champion, or zero. So that's the gap, and you were still going anyway to win. Yes or no?
Of course, 100%.
So this is the whole story.
So Gab, what has, in a nutshell, because I know me and you both have tried to reach out to the Malta Boxing Association, which is for those who are listening, is the professional entity on this island. And that, I'm going to repeat that. The professional sanctioning body on this island. Okay. What do we need to do? Because I know we've tried and we've had no reply from them. What is the next step?
I don't know. We have no problem, because the amateur and professional working together is just natural. There's no problem. I mean, I'm not willing to organize any professional shows. I can, to be honest, because now IBA has also the professional series. So I can and I could, but I'm not interested, because I'm sticking to our project, which is promoting Olympic boxing in the proper way, which is amateur, and then we create great amateurs, then they can turn professional, and when they turn professional with all this background, are real professionals, and they can also sell themselves way better. Because let's say one of our boxers now, Gail, is vice European champion, and already this in the selling, when she will turn professional, is already something. But let's say one of the guys, also Gail, they win a gold medal or a world championship, and then they are world champion. And when you go and you start, as a pro, finding, a manager in a team where they give you already money, they come already with a contract. That's what we should focus on. It. That's how it's always been. Let's say during my courses when I was still, learning, one of the super instructors that I had the honor to have as a leader, he was discussing and telling us his experience that sometimes his boxer, he was working so much to get, the Olympic program, and they were already Olympic medals from previous Olympic Games, and then maybe at the midway, let's say after 2 years, they were withdrawing from the project because they got offered like millions, like 1.5 million. The girl, yes. An example, he withdrew at some point in the before the last Olympics that he was about to participate, because he got offered like 1 million and something to sign a contract and say okay, and he left. So he was, we all know the pedigree and all the medals that he won, like a lot of other super English fighters like Amir Khan and many more at the time. So that makes sense. So then that's the way you promote yourself. And then when you say, okay, now, boom, I step in. But when you step in, it's like, boom, he's here.
Exactly.
That's the point. You step, boom, the girls are, whoa. Like let's say Lomachenko. When Lomachenko stepped in the professional, so he had a world title after 7 fights. It doesn't happen this way, normally. But we're talking about a giant of the ring. So that was normal,
All of them coming from the Olympic scab, like Anthony Joshua, Fraser Clark, Joe Cordina. These are all people who are coming from the Olympics.
Usyk.
Some kind of medal. Usyk. I'm just mentioning English people here.
Yeah. I know.
But yeah, that's their job, their work experience, and that's where they make a name.
Yes.
And this is what people need to understand. Is there a difference between amateur boxing and professional boxers, as in quality-wise? No. But as in fame-wise, you get yourself some kind of medal, if it be a European, if it be a world, if it be an Olympia medal, and then you move on to your career. And you have, I would say, half or 3/4 of the work already done.
Yes. That's like in anything in life, you work your way through, and once you reach that level and you have experience and you have, certified skills, and then it's just you raised, your own price, and then your price starts from that, which before was here, now is there. That's the starting point. That's what I hope that everyone, if all the boxers are following us also understand, especially in Malta, because we're discussing now Malta's future, that this is the way. It's good for you, and we are doing all this work for you all to help you. And so then once you turn pro, it's different. It's not like, because the point is also that we need to mention that, I know because I've been there for forever in the last 10 years, and before Malta had no amateur, because for some reason Malta was suspended for over a decade. So all the boxers, I said so many times now, I realize, all the boxers had to go pro or semi-pro, because was the only way to box. And I have to say that Malta managed in a great way, because you were one of the best. That's why you are one of the best promoters, because somehow, beside the fact that Malta was suspended, in this way we managed to raise popularity in the island, and a great popularity. But then the moment we fixed it, had to change straight away to put it in, again, on to place it on the proper journey again, to okay, now we have it, let's go and let's make it better, because we did it without. What we can do with amazing things.
It's never ending. I know, I understand. I just hope one day, something will be sorted and someone understands the severity of the issue, and maybe we can get it fixed once and for all. But one can only hope and pray, Gab.
Yeah. Yes, we hope and pray, but we all also work like crazy. You guys don't see us when we work, but we work truly a lot to make this happen, because it feels now also the way we wanted to do it, without any stress, any of this, and we stressed ourselves to make it very easy. And I think sometimes that also too easy, because I remember in my career I had to conquer any position all the time when I was an athlete, all the time, and I was not sleeping for months, thinking even if I was the champion and I was beating anybody, but I was maybe they didn't like me this time, because it's like this. And you speak with any boxer in national team, they will tell you the same story, because sometimes maybe you say hi, and someone doesn't like the tone of your hi,
None
and
of
then
your
you're
voice.
out. That's how it is. That's truly how it is. I was super stressed all the time about this kind of things, because not only you need to train, not only you need to do the weight, not only you need to do dieting, not only you need to also work, not all this stuff. And then maybe sometimes you say, hi, you want to be also nice, but they don't like it. So no, out, but go back home. An example, I will tell you a story. I hope that someone maybe will keep it. When I went to the European Championships in Istanbul, 1996, I was 21. That were in the was called junior, but was a different, of course, name for this. Was 21 years old, which was already like senior. But anyway, super level. Now, during the training camp that we were in Turkey already, and I was there in the team, and someone decided to try to send me back home because I had a small injury during the camp. So then I understood that they tried some political moves to send me back and take someone who that was not supposed to be there, but they were trying. I was in the Carabinieri already, so I took the phone and I called our Carabinieri leader. I said, look, this is the situation. I think that they're trying to do this. Okay, all right. So he organized everything, so it ended up with me having like 9 injections per day in the back and in the leg, because truly bad. And then I had to beat the ship out of everyone there, also my teammates from Carabinieri, to reprove that I was there to go there and to make the best, and I deserve to be there until the end. You see how it is? And I worked so much to have that opportunity, but was not enough. Can you imagine the stress? 10 days before the fight. Then we did the bronze medal. So also we were there, but we fought like against super athletes. But we were on paper we were like the favorites. So we lost against France by one point, something like this. Pretty upsetting, but and then they went to the final, and we went, because also we lost, but then we had to do the repechage, because in at the time was repechage, so we have to fight. Don't remember, I think with the final we did it against Estonia. And also this was open category, because in the team fight you fight open, like no weight. So that was my specialty. And and it's like 6 against 6, and you don't know who you will meet. Is just also there a strategical placement of the weight that you have available from the coach, and then trying to play mind games with the other coach, and see if you manage to get the good setup. And I always had the the other heavy. Yes, in fact, in the Carabinieri, I was always training with our heavyweight, which was over 2 meters, because no way, I never had one small, or my other teammates that were like also really small guys, all of them said. All right, so anyway, so also there is a lot of things, so this
Of
kind of
course, of
stuff
course.
stress you, because you never know if you will truly have the opportunity, even when you are already there. And we gave it very easy, because I wanted all the boxers not to experience this, but maybe sometimes it's important to experience this, because makes you also grind more and
Of course.
understand that nothing is for granted. I think so. Maybe we need to give it a bit, of the difficulties to to our boxes, just to conquer it.
Yeah, sometimes, these things make you stronger, make you harder, gives you more grit, and you feel like you've gone through something hard and you got something at the end. Let's change the subject, Gab.
Yeah.
19th of July. We
Yeah.
have Gladiators is our next. And actually, no, we do have the 6th of July. We have a 6th
Yes.
of
First
June. 6th of June.
June. Yes.
We have a small gym show, obviously, so we can continue getting the experience for the young boys. And that's at the Good Vibes Gym with Roland.
Yes.
And then
Super
we have on
Roland.
the 19th of July with the Gladiators, obviously, Noel Merchita, one of our
Yes.
coaches, is one of the organisers there. It's going to be quite a big show. Looking forward to that one.
Yes.
I might not be available because
Oh.
yes, I've been invited to Dubai.
Ah,
I have a
that's a
profession.
problem.
I know. I have a professional boxing show. It's people from Dubai. They've invited me over there
Okay.
to see the promotion because they want to help me do a promotion here in September.
Okay.
So it's still near or there, but I thought things out when it comes down to super visual. Don't worry, everything's in
To be honest,
hand.
to be honest, I hope that this will happen maybe a couple of days later, and not during that, because I need you there. I need you there. All right, then.
No,
I think
we'll see what we
for
can do.
our first time, we did pretty great.
Yes,
It was fun. Yes. So let's, coaches and boxers that are following us, I will leave you now with our music, because it's the super music. I love it. Yeah. And when the music will finish, no coaches, no boxing, the podcast. Not forget to subscribe and hit the bell and follow all the lectures and all the things that I will deliver for you for free, as always. Boom. All right. Let me see now. I will stop.